Yep. There
All
goes
right,
the dice.
here we go. First
Yeah,
session.
here we are.
All right. Now, do you want to introduce yourself real quick before we start?
As a PC or in real life?
In real life.
Okay. My name is Ronnie Pickering. Happy to be in another campaign by my friend Riley. And just all around happy to be playing D&D. Fun hobby. Other than that, I guess my hobbies include animals. I've got 2 bearded dragons and an axolotl. And I play a lot of Pokemon too.
Nice. I do too. So that's not lost on me. So my name's Riley. I'm gonna be your host today. I'm the GM/DM. If you're not sure what that is, pause this video, go look up Dungeons and Dragons because you're gonna need to know a little bit about it before watching this. So this campaign was written by me and a lot of other dungeon masters. This game is going to be a little different. This is the story of, what is your name?
Lilro.
Yes,
On the screen.
it is on the screen. It's on your person, so don't worry about it. This is a huge map. There are going to be many adventures to be had, and this is a one-on-one campaign for now. You are level 0, and we're starting roleplay right as you begin. So even if you've played Dungeons and Dragons before, this might be a little new for you. So just hang tight and follow along with the story, because that's the point of this. Is just hearing a little tale. So, all right, let's get this started. All right. So, Ronnie, would you like to introduce yourself as a player character?
Yeah. My player character, his name is Lilro. He is a tiefling. For those of you who aren't too familiar with D&D, a tiefling is similar to like a half-demon. They look half-human, half-demon creature. I am, as far as I know, probably gonna start out as a newborn or a child, and we're kind of gonna see how that works. As far as backstory, I guess my mom is a peasant and my dad is somebody who was kind of high up in the government. I was an illegitimate child, and my father didn't really want anything to do with me. So we're gonna see how that plays into it. Other than that, there's not really much to tell yet. You guys are just gonna have to watch and see.
All right, so sounds good. How we begin this story is that of a tale of joy and sorrow. We begin our adventure in the world of Coughley. This world is huge and is ruled by 7 central governments, kind of loosely tied together. The one that we are going to be starting at is named Nabia. This is where Lilro is starting off today. Like you said, you are born a tiefling, and the town of Nabia is that of a bustling city. Everyone's got to be somewhere all the time, and the trading ports and people coming in and out are very frequent. Nabia is on the southern shore of the Lost Ocean, and is also kept in forest. It is covered by trees and almost seems like a hidden village of some sort, if it weren't for its size. Nabia has about 7,000 people in it in total, and is a big trading export site, especially for exports like wine. Nabia has 3 main roads leading out of it, one leading north and one leading west and east. The other is south, and that is only for boats because that's where the ocean is. We begin our story with the birth of Lilro. Lilro is born to be, let's see, I'm going to roll. I'm going to be making a lot of rolls every once in a while. I won't tell you what they are, but you're going to find out later.
All
All right, question, Lilro. What is your 5th stat? Is that wisdom?
right. It is.
All right. What I'm going to need you to do is somewhere on your sheet write 45.
Somewhere. Does it have to be on the character sheet, or can it be on like a separate sheet?
You can put it anywhere as long as you know where it is.
All right. It's on my second page of notes.
All right. So,
Page just about Nabia.
yep. I'm going to have you -2 off of that 45 to make it a total of 43. And what you're getting is a +1 to your strength and a +1. The 5th one's wisdom, right?
Yes.
Okay, +1 to your wisdom. So if you want to tell your stats to everyone listening right now, that'd be great.
All right. So as of the changes just now, we have a 8 in strength, a 7 in dexterity, a 7 in constitution, an 8 in intelligence, 8 in wisdom, 9 in charisma.
Got it. Got it.
The intelligence and wisdom and the intelligence and charisma bonuses are from my race. For those of you who are new to the D&D scene.
Yes. So you are born a baby, a little larger than most. From your base stats, you have a little buff to your strength and a little buff to your wisdom. So you are naturally more inclined to that of nature and everything around it in the world. As you grow up, you don't remember much of this era of your life. It's more like images, still images. You remember everything being huge around you. You remember your mother always being around, and you remember being in a house for most of your upbringing, that of a very small, dingy house. So as a baby, you can't really choose much. So those are your main stats for that. The next era we're going to is your childhood. So there are different ways you can play this out, Ronnie. There are and any way that you can role play what a child would do in a city like this, I'm going to allow it. You can be a mischievous child and try to leave your parents. You could go play with the city folk. You could go try to get some merchant stuff for your mom. You can run errands. These are just a few examples of what you can do.
Right. What is my age, like, in actuality?
Your age is about 7 and a half.
About 7. Cool. Just had to know. And as far as current living conditions, do we at least have food every day, or is that scarce as well? I know you said the house was kind of...
Yes. You don't eat every day. You eat frequently, but not every day.
Gotcha. So I kind of just wake up in the house?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Is my mom present? Or is she out doing things?
Oh, she's out right now.
Gotcha. Alright, well, I'm gonna try to head to, like, one of the busier, like, market areas.
Mm-hmm. All right, so since you're a child, I'm not going to give you the map for Nabia just yet because you yourself are now learning of this. So what I am going to do is pull up the map on my end. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. All right, so you're not sure where the marketplace is because you haven't really been there that much. It's mainly your mom who does the shopping because you're so tiny at this point. But you do know that your mom tells you that you live on the southern part of the city, and it's called Winsome's Way. This kind of sub area of the city. You know that up north might be more people. You know over to the east is where your mom does not want you to go. And besides the regular rule of don't leave the outside walls.
Right, okay. outside. Don't leave outside wall. Gotcha. Alrighty. Do I know much about like the penal code? So like crimes and what their punishments would be?
You do not at this point.
Okay. Okay.
You're just a kid, being a kid.
We're gonna have to find out. So, I try to head to where I think the market might be, which, if we're on the southern part of the city, I would kind of head towards like the middle of the city, if possible.
All right. So you head to the inner part of the city, and here you find different roads leading to a main hub area in the center. You see many people relaxing, talking to each other. Not what you would normally see in a bustling city. This seems to be almost like a relaxing area. As soon as you enter in, you feel a calm come over you, almost like a sense of your urgency to do anything is just washed away.
Well, I kind of like it here. I try to, I guess, find somebody who isn't already in the middle of a conversation, and I want to ask them a question.
All right. You see multiple people around, mainly satyrs. The tieflings don't seem to be here right now. Also, you see a couple humans here and there.
Okay. Am I getting weird looks like I'm not supposed to be here, or do people seem fine?
People seem absolutely fine.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to find somebody who isn't in the middle of a conversation.
All right, so
let's go with a human.
A human, got it. So you see a pair. It seems like a couple, kind of sitting next to each other, holding each other's hands, and they are looking off into the sky, into what seems to be the clouds, clouding over the sun. It seems to be perfect weather right now. Do you wish to say anything to them?
Yes. So I approach, and my 7-year-old self say, "Excuse me, sir. I have a question. If you have time."
Oh yeah. What's up, man?
So I was wondering where might I find a place to purchase maybe an apple?
Oh, you're looking for an apple. Roll for persuasion.
First roll of the game. This is a special moment. Everybody.
Yeah, natural 20. Natural 20, please.
Well, we got a nat 12. Let me see what that is. You said persuasion?
Persuasion, yes.
Okay, so 11 total.
11. All right, so he looks over at you and says, where's your mother at?
She's out shopping for some other things. I'm also helping her purchase groceries today.
He says, well, I'm not sure you should. And then the female touches his shoulder and says, oh, he's just a child. Don't worry about it. And then she points in the direction of the north and says, the northern road, and says, if you head up that road, you'll be able to find everything you need.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your time together. And I hurriedly... Word, hurriedly? Whatever.
I think it's hurriedly.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, hurriedly. Head out of the northernmost door of this place, and I'm going north to find what I need.
All right.
Which is basically a produce stand or anywhere that sells food.
As you head north, you go just a little bit away, and you eventually find a marketplace. It seems to be a marketplace for foodstuffs, and mainly fruit. As you look around, you see many stands glowing with people happily chatting with one another. Again, mainly satyrs, but you also see some humans around.
Okay, do I see my mother anywhere?
You do not.
Okay, cool. So, I look around for, like, probably a stand that's, like, really crowded, really busy.
Yeah. All right, so make a perception check.
The perception. Oof. Well, we're gonna have a 6 total.
Oh, that is not good. As you look around, you can't really see a big stand that you can get up on, but you do see a crate next to a merchant, which seems to house some sort of items.
Well, I meant stand as in like a stand selling food.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
You see multiple stands. If you're looking for specifically apples, there are pretty much everyone selling apples.
Yes, we have apples in this village.
Yes.
Ooh, I wonder if we make apple wine. That would be good. Someone write that down. I need a secretary soon. Okay.
As a 7-year-old, you will be the boss baby.
Yes, I will. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Boss Baby.
Yes, I wish. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
One day we will achieve the status. Alright, so I'm gonna try to like sneakily how are they set up? Like, could I easily like walk behind all the stands?
Walk behind the stands. Seems to be it's very crowded, so you can walk behind there into an alleyway, but that's kind of it. If you want to walk behind the stands, you would have to get like where the shopkeepers are.
Okay, so it's set up. Okay, so that's gonna be more difficult than I expected. I guess I'll try to approach one of the shopkeepers.
Okay.
In line if I need to.
Yeah, there is no real line because it's so busy right now. But seems to be that you eventually find a stand with a sort of gruff-looking man with lamb chops and a mustache, and he looks down at you, kind of confused, and a smile comes across his face, and says, "What can I get you there, lad?"
Yes, sir. Well, I was hoping to ask, do you have perhaps any, like, leftovers or trash from the days before that might have food in it?
Make a persuasion check.
That's a good one. Let's go. 17 total.
17, you said?
Yeah.
All right. So he looks down at you and says, "Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. Here, if you're hungry, take this apple." And he throws one at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
If I succeed on this, I want this apple. Hey, let's go. 13.
13, got it. You catch the apple in your hands, and it looks very big. Compared to normal apples, it's very bright red. It looks very sweet and juicy, almost like harvest season is in like full effect.
This is yes. I look at it like with huge 7-year-old eyes, like it's on Christmas, and I look back up at the guy. I'm like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you ever need any help with anything, let me know. I'd be happy to repay you." And I kind of just like scurry off.
All right.
With my apple.
So, would you like to go back to your house?
As I'm walking to my house, I want to like go back to that like really nice lounge area and just eat my apple, look at the clouds, and then go back home.
All right.
It's gonna be a good day for Lilro.
It seems to be that way. All right, give me 2 seconds here. All right. All right, and as you go back over there, you do see something that you didn't notice before. Over to the left side, on one of the buildings, there seems to be a giant piece of wood with papers on it.
Ooh. I'm gonna go check out what's on the papers.
All right, so as you approach, would you like to read what's on the papers?
Yeah. I want to read it if I can.
All right, make an intelligence check because you're not great at common right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm only 7. You said intelligence? Or...
Yes, it's investigation.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a 2.
A 2. Okay, you cannot read what's on there,
Illiterate.
but it seems like multiple words are bolded and underlined, so it seems very important.
Okay, are other people gathered around reading it?
No, everyone seems to be ignoring it.
Huh, odd. Well, if it's that important, people would be gathered around, I guess, so... I guess I'm going back to that, like, really nice, relaxing area to eat my apple.
All right. And as you do, you finish your apple, and you see the sun starts going down, and it seems to be the end of the day.
All right, well, I guess I start heading home to see my mom.
Okay. As you head back home, she is still not there, but you wait a couple hours, and eventually she arrives. She seems to be in more tattered white clothes, seems to be wearing a dress. Also, real quick question. What does your mom look like?
So I would assume by her living conditions that she's pretty frail. Like, she does eat, but definitely probably not as much as she should. Her hair is very thick, black hair, kind of like mine, really thick and black. Mine's kind of wavy. As far as her tiefling characteristics, her horns kind of come out and like curl behind her ears.
All right.
I think that's really all that's significant.
All right, well, that's what you see. And she walks up to you and says, it seems like you had a pretty good day. What did you do?
Well, I went to the marketplace and I met a very friendly man there, and he gave me an apple. It was as big as my head. And then I went to that area in the middle of town. It's very relaxing. And I ate my apple there and watched the clouds.
I see. Well, I have to tell you something. I might have some good news. And she looks down at you and says, we might be moving soon, outside the city walls. We're still gonna stay here in the city, but, we have a new house.
I thought you said we could not go outside the walls.
Well, we're gonna have to make an exception this time, okay? And she kind of pats your head and says, if we move out there, we can have as much food as we want.
As much food as we want?
Yes, that's right. And she looks over at you and says, I found a new job. But if we move outside the city walls, you're going to have to stay inside most of the time. And if I need your help, I need your help.
Of course, Mother. What will I have to do being stuck inside all day?
She says, here, once we get our new job, I'll buy you new toys. And a smile goes over her face, and she looks at you and says, there's also another thing that I might be able to help you with. Have you heard of school before?
Not much, no. I know that's a place where people can go and they can, I think, learn things, but that's all I know about it.
Yes, you might be able to do that. I found someone who might be able to teach you.
Really? A teacher? Wow.
Yes. So, eventually, that happens, and eventually the night comes, and you sleep. I'm going to explain the next couple of years of your life, and I'm going to have you make a couple of rolls. So,
Alright.
give me a second.
I had a good... I made sure I at least had one great day of childhood.
Yeah, before it all gets crashed down.
We don't know that yet. I haven't made the rolls.
Yeah, where is it? Okay, here it is. Right. All right. So, eventually, couple of days pass, and you guys move out of your dingy house for a much nicer one, although you do have to share it with others. You head over to what seems to be the west, and to the south area. You remember as you leave the walls for the first time, the sun almost blinds you. You're not used to this much sunlight. Usually it's all covered with clouds. Pretty much all your life it's been covered with clouds. But as soon as you leave, the sunlight gets very bright. And you also see more tieflings than you have for most of your life. They all seem to be working at a farm. Your mother leads you to a large building, and you are introduced to it by someone telling you it is Egg Chapel. That's the name of the building. It's actually a collection of buildings that all kind of link together. It seems to be some sort of religious area. And eventually you go into your new house, and there's a common area, and a place for patients, and also a place for books and things like that. There seems to be many humans running the place, not many tieflings, mainly satyrs actually. There are a couple humans though. So as you look around, you do see those things, and eventually you spend a couple more days there. Weeks go by, and you help your mother out until one day she says she has someone for you to meet, and she leads you back into the city and says you're gonna have to memorize this path quite well. You might have to go here every time you go to school.
Okay. So as we're walking, I kind of try to look around for like things that stick out, like marks that I could be like, okay, we went left here, etc.
All right, make a perception check.
Come on, don't be bad, don't be bad. This dice is about to go to dice jail. We got another 2.
Ooh, yeah, you were too distracted by the people rushing by you. But other than that, you eventually, she leads you to her house that seems to be pretty well upkept. And she knocks on the door, and eventually a man answers. It seems to be a tiefling with tiny devil horns sticking out the front of his head, and red hair and a red mustache. He seems to be, his skin is pale white, and his eyes seem to be very yellow.
The mustache style, like...
handlebar.
Yes!
So, your mother seems to talk to him for a little bit while you sit and play, but eventually she leaves, and he introduces himself as Ekemon.
How do I spell that?
Ekemon.
Alrighty.
He looks at you and says, sorry, I'm looking at something. He looks at you and says, "Well, you really seem to be quite the prodigy here." And he looks at what you were doing, and you just seem to be playing with like your imagination. And he says, "We're really gonna have to do something with that, aren't we?"
Is he saying that to me, or
yes.
my mom, or what?
No, your mom left. He's talking to you now.
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Here, one moment. I must lay out some ground rules. Do not touch me. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Also, whenever you come into this building, you do not speak of Lyra.
Do I recognize that name?
Seems to be your name, but with a different letter. That's about it.
Interesting.
All right, and eventually, he starts teaching you. Now, as a child, I'm gonna play out the next couple years. I'm gonna make you have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oof. about to get the plague. Okay, that's not bad. 18.
18. A year goes by, and eventually you see much less and less people, and more people coming to Egg Chapel to be healed. Your mother seems to be one of them. She is a doctor, and she examines the patients, and more start coming in during a certain time. And you realize that you start feeling a little sick. Your mother treats you, and eventually you get better. It only takes a couple weeks. But your mother looks very sullen during this time and explains to you that many people died during this time due to famine and a disease that swept the place. And
as much food as I want. Jeez.
Yeah, you have been eating very well, on the other hand.
Never mind. Sweet.
Yeah, you and your mom have been working here, and you've been fed well by those who run the chapel, which are a couple of satyrs. So, you also train with Ekamon, which seems to be just learning the basics of the world and everything like that. Everything that you read in the book that I gave you, you now know. You also hear of how the town worships a certain god, Lyra, and the satyrs basically enforce the rule that everyone must worship her to live here. And every year there is a gigantic party that happens in the middle of town. You have never been invited to one of these parties. Your mother has never gone, to your knowledge. But you know it's a big deal for everyone. You also know that in this place, many people have gathered around searching for this area. Although it is kind of hidden amongst the trees, this is a place for most people to go and live happy lives. Some people during retirement, some people when they're very young and hear tales of this town. Almost like it's a whimsical place that is amongst the gods. From your perspective, it's kind of just everyday life. You had it hard earlier on, but now you're doing pretty well for yourself. So I'm gonna also have you tell me what do you do in particular? Like, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize going into the city, learning its wares? Do you prioritize playing with toys? Do you prioritize trying to meet other people, or maybe studying, or helping your mom? Anything.
Definitely my top two would be both meeting people and making connections. Kind of like how when I was 7 and I tried to make a connection with that salesman. I was like, if you ever need anything, let me know. I'd be happy to help. Stuff like that, kind of just making connections with different people in the city. And then second to that would definitely be my studies. I definitely want to better myself from what I grew up in. And so I'm going to try to learn as much as possible about how to live better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So another thing that I'm going to have you keep track of is you make sure that you know how many times that you've leveled up an ability. Just write a number next to it, depending on how many times it's been leveled up. Like your strength, just put a 1 next to it, and your wisdom, just a 1 next to it.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right, so I'm gonna have you make 3 persuasion checks.
3 persuasion checks, huh? All right. Okay, we've got a 14. Nat 20.
Okay.
First nat 20 of the campaign. Landed on the floor, but that's a 16. All right. I did all right on those. All
right. So keep those in mind so I don't forget. First one was 14, right?
Yes.
You eventually, when you get a little bit older, seems to be like 12, 13, you go up to some of the merchants that are selling, which now you know is Oak Orchard, that's the marketplace. And you talk to them looking for work and being able to pay for things. So they tell you that they are looking for work, and they'd be willing to hire you. One of the merchants even says he'll give you some food on the side if you need it.
I definitely am interested.
All right, so do you accept?
I kind of ask, how old am I at this point?
Seems to be about 12, 13.
Kind of want to ask, like, what sort of work will we be doing?
He tells you that, you're going to be my stock boy. I'm going to be talking with the customers. You're going to be helping me with stocking up on everything that we need and giving them to them. Sound good?
Be happy to.
All right. So you accept the job, and they pay you a salary of about 5 copper per week.
Nice, let's go.
And since you're not really paying for anything, since your mom is working, you get to keep all of it, unless you choose to give it to anything or buy anything.
Cool.
So every year that passes from now on, let's just say you get, what would that be? Probably like 10 gold?
You said 5 copper a week?
Yeah.
I think it'll be less than 10 gold. Are you at what are you asking for? How many years?
Just for 1 year.
Okay. $26 silver.
26 silver. Oh, not even a, well, 2 gold and 7 silver.
2 gold and 6 silver.
Okay, sounds good. Well, so you accept the job, and I'll just give you your salary at the end of the year. Just to make it a little simpler for us, I'm gonna have you make a performance check.
Performance. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. That's a 19 minus 1, so 18.
18. Got it. That's very high. You work at your job for a while, and it seems to be going very well for you. You eventually rise up to be the #1 stock boy, which comes at a cost. The other village kids, the other city kids, start to resent you a little bit. And some of your friends that you thought you had no longer hang out with you. I'm going to have you make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma, come on. My highest stat. Ooh, that's going to be a 12.
A 12. Got it. You are pretty unperturbed by this, and you continue your work and find solitude in what you do with your work, and you eventually start getting pretty friendly with the shopkeep. His name is... Shopkeep's name is... You might want to write this down, just in case... Yeah, in case I need a reference. Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna need references for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Seems to be human, and he's very old. His name is Admon, Admon.
Admon. All right. Cool.
The more you get to know him, the more you see he seems to be a very content old man that has lived most of his life doing who knows what, but is now settled down. And he eventually tells you that you are his favorite stock boy. And you also said that you had a 20 for another persuasion, right?
Yes.
All right. So when talking with the other kids in the town, you gain many friends, although, like I said, you lost some because of the job, but those were just a few to count. You seem to be very popular in the city, and eventually the kids kind of take you up as like one of the head people to go to in case they ever get bored. Your house becomes, the chapel at least, becomes a hub for many people to go, although some kids aren't allowed to go outside of the city wall, so you can't see some of them. And what was your third charisma check? Or persuasion check?
16.
16. So with your teacher, Ekamon. He seems to be getting to know you quite well, and he starts to take you fondness for you. You know, he teaches a couple other kids, but you were like his maiden project, and you also know that your mother pays quite a bit for having you go to school. So the only other thing that you said you wanted to do was make sure you apply yourself to studies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any extra time that I'm not like doing my job or like making connections with people, I am gonna study.
Okay.
Bury my nose in books.
Got it. Okay. So make 3 intelligence checks.
3 intelligence checks. All right. Watch these one easier. Okay, we have a 9, a nat 20.
Nice.
Wow, we are really killing it with these second checks. Oh, and that one's a 18.
18. All right. So is there anything
That first one.
is there anything in particular that you want to study as a child?
Well, as far as what is Ekamon teaching?
Ekamon teaching?
What are the different subjects that I could choose from?
You could either learn about math, science. There is things about history, and kind of just like normal subjects that you would learn as a kid. There's also art and stuff like that.
Okay. I'm probably gonna be.
So what I'm going to do is choose 3 subjects that you want to do, and those will be your roles.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna do. Math is my first one.
Okay.
Are these in order of that I rolled? So like math would be the 9.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tell me in which order. So like, what do you want to be the 9?
Math will be the 9.
Okay.
20 we're gonna put in. 20 we're putting into art,
Okay.
and 18 we're gonna put in science.
All right. So in total, you are now about 15 years old. So make sure you add 2 years of work, which is gold.
On me?
Yeah. Also, what I'm gonna have you do is add. I'm gonna have you add to your ability scores.
Let's go.
I'm gonna have you add 3 to your charisma. So make sure.
Ooh.
Well, let's do one at a time. So this is your first time adding to charisma, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Other than my racial bonus.
So off of the 45, which should be 43 now, -1 off of that.
Okay.
All right, and then you have the second one. So write that down. This is you upgraded it twice. So it should be like a 9 now, right? Or no, because your bus plus your.
It was already a 9. If we're adding 3, it's gonna be a 12.
Yeah, this is we're on the second one right now. So
So it's 11 now.
11. Make sure you minus another 1 off of your total pool, and then your third one minus another 1 off your pool, and then add another 1 to your next to your ability score.
Okay, so my current pool is 40. My current charisma score is 12.
Okay, so you were learning art, you were learning math, which wasn't the great, and then you were learning what was the third one?
Science.
Science. Got it. So I'm going to pull up something real quick. Sorry, there are some kinks that I need to work out because this is the first time we're playing this. So.
And I am very honored to be the first.
Yeah. How are you liking it so far? It's a little different, right?
I am loving it. Honestly, I think if you run another like full campaign or whatever, you should run it like this.
Okay.
I mean that is kind of what this is.
Yeah. This is a full campaign, so.
Yeah. So, I think it's phenomenal.
Got it. All right. So I'm gonna let you pick another thing for science.
Okay.
So When studying science, he has different supplies that you can be using to study. I'm gonna call them out. Pick one after I'm done saying them. There is brewery, which is the making of ale and the mixing of liquids. There is also cartography you could choose from, which is making maps. You also can choose from since you are doing calligraphy, forgery kits.
Ooh.
Also, painter's supplies you could choose from.
Okay.
Could also do tinkerer's tools.
Okay.
And those are all of them that you can choose from.
Right.
So
I have to choose one?
out of those 5, which one do you want?
Ooh. Oh, I'm stuck between 2.
Which 2 are you thinking about?
Brewery or forgery kit?
Okay.
Mm.
I can read you what they do if you'd like. I'm going to give you proficiency. So this is that.
Yeah, that's why I'm wanting to know.
All right, brewer supplies is the heck, they don't even say it. You said brewer supplies and forgery, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a part of the artisan's tools. It's brewing is the art of producing beer. Not only does beer serve an alcoholic beverage, but the process of brewing purifies water. Crafting beer takes weeks of fermentation, but only a few hours of work. Components. Brewer supplies contains. This doesn't mean you have it. This means you're proficient in it. Brewer supplies include a large glass jug, a quantity of hops, which I'm not sure what that is, a siphon.
That's basically the main, like, what the plant they use to make beer.
Oh, okay. A siphon and several feet of tubing.
Okay, I'm gonna ask if you could repeat that one more time, please.
Yes. Brewery is the art of producing beer, but it purifies water and you can make alcoholic beverages with it. Here are a few things that you can do with the brewer supplies. Components. Brewer supplies includes a large and I just read that. History. Proficiency with brewer supplies gives you additional insight on intelligence history checks concerning events that involve alcohol as a significant element. Medicine. This tool proficiency gains additional insight when you treat anyone suffering from alcohol poisoning or when you get alcohol. When you use alcohol to dull the pain. Persuasion. A stiff drink can help soften the hardest heart. Your proficiency with brewer supplies can help you ply someone with drink, giving them just enough alcohol to mellow their mood. Or portable water. Your knowledge of brewery enables you to purify water that would otherwise be undrinkable. As part of a long rest, you can purify up to 6 gallons of water or 1 gallon as part of a short rest. And these are the activities you can do with the brewer supplies, all with varying DCs. Detect poison or impurities in a drink, DC 10. Identify an alcohol, DC 15. Or ignore effects of alcohol, DC 20.
Okay, let me write those down real quick.
Well, I can, before you write those down, do you want me to tell you the forgery kit, or you're just sticking with brewery?
I'm writing these down so I can compare the two.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the detect poison was DC 10. What was the next one?
Detect poison was DC 10. Identify alcohol was 15, and ignore effects of alcohol is 20.
Alrighty. Now we can go ahead to the forgery kit and see.
All right, the forgery kit. So, this small box contains a variety of papers and parchments, pens and inks, seals and sealing wax, gold and silver leaf, other supplies necessary to create convincing forgeries for physical documents. Proficiency with this lets you add your proficiency bonus with any ability checks you make to create a physical forgery of a document. A forgery kit is designed to duplicate documents and make it easier to copy a person's seal or signature. Components. A forgery kit includes several different types of ink, a variety of parchments and papers, several quills, seals, sealing wax, gold, silver leaf, blah, 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 blah. Stuff I already said. Arcana. A forgery kit can be used in conjunction with an Arcana skill to determine if a magic item is real or fake. Interesting. Arcana. Or I just read that. Deception. A well-crafted forgery, such as paper proclaiming you are noble or right, that grants you safe passage can lend credence to a lie. History. A forgery kit combined with your knowledge of history improves your ability to create fake historical documents or tell if an old document is authentic. Investigation. When you examine objects, proficiency with the forgery kit is useful for determining how an object was made and whether it was genuine. Other tools. Knowledge of other tools makes your forgeries that more believable. For example, you could combine forgery or proficiency with forgery kit and a proficiency with cartographer's tools to make a fake map. Or, finally, quick fake. As part of your short rest, you can produce a forged document no more than 1 page in length. As part of a long rest, you can produce a document that is up to 4 pages long. Your intelligence check using forgery kit determines the DC for someone else's intelligence to see if it was fake. And then finally, as an activity, you can do mimic handwriting for a DC of 15, or duplicate a wax seal for 20.
This is a tough choice.
Also, not that it matters all that much, but forgery kits cost you about 15 gold. Brewer's supplies cost you about 20 gold.
Jeez. I don't have that kind of cash.
Yes, but I will allow you your proficiency with it.
Decide if I want to travel or if I want to kind of stay put for a while. That will determine what channel I choose. Darn, this is a tough one.
It is a tough one.
You know what? We're just gonna do it.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna go with the brewer's kit.
All right. So what I'm gonna have you do, just in case you want to ask like what something does, what I'm gonna have you do is just look up brewer supplies, and then it should be the website that has 5e tools on it, and then just reference that whenever you want to do something, because I'm not going to tell you what all it does every time. So
right, understandable. Let me pull that up real quick.
All right, moving on. What did I just do? Okay, so that was proficiency in that. So you have proficiency in brewer's kit. Right.
Oh, I think I found the exact website you were referencing.
Yeah, it's one of the top ones.
Yeah, this is word for word. Perfect. Cool.
Right.
So I am now proficient in that?
Yes, you are proficient in it.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is something that's usually skipped in D&D, is all the tools that you can get.
Yeah, honestly, I was reading through some and I was like, wow, this would change drastically certain things, because you can get certain things if you're doing it a certain way, which would change a lot of things in game.
Yeah.
Wow, this is fun. All right.
So that was your science one. What was the other? You did art, science, and what again?
I got nat 20 for art.
9 for science. Oh, 18 in science, yeah.
My math was a 9.
Math was a 9. All right, so in total, I'm going to give you 1 ability score increase to intelligence.
I will graciously accept that. Also, I'm assuming I have to subtract 1 from the pool.
Yeah, every time I say 1, subtract 1 from the pool, unless I say otherwise.
Sounds good. Alrighty.
Okay. So, also, I'm gonna give you a +1 to Constitution.
Hey, alright.
Which is mainly because of how good your diet is. Because you've been eating lots of fruits and meats that have been finely cooked.
I do love apples.
Yes, you do. Apples have been growing on you ever since you ate that one.
Yeah.
The area you grow up in is known for its like amazing food.
I eat so many apples a day that doctors cannot even be in the same room as me. They're physically forced out.
Also, I can't wait to play with other people where they choose someone another area and it's just like dingy and dark all the time, and they have to eat like rotten food all the time.
Yes, and I'm over here like, you haven't tried apples?
All right.
I'm making it my mission to somehow make an apple ale.
An apple ale?
That'll be my trademark.
Bro, do it. You can make some bank off of that.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Right. Okay. So, continuing forward, you wrote down everything, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, continuing forward, eventually, you meet another influential character in your life. Your mother works very closely with the priests, and eventually a couple start taking you under their wing just because of how many friends you've gathered, especially with the young kids. Your friends are generally tieflings, but you haven't really put that together in your mind. You kind of just have friends, but from an outsider's perspective, it's like, oh, he's friends with the tieflings. So, yes, you are. A couple of the preachers approach you and eventually tell you through a couple days that if you start bringing your friends to the chapels, then they might be able to help you out with something. Do you accept?
What kind of help can you offer?
One of the preachers says to you, if you wish to learn more about our goddess, then we would be able to inform you on anything you want.
Well, I certainly will ask them if they'd like to join me. And hopefully all goes well there.
All right. So I'm going to have you make a persuasion check, but do you just ask slyly, just like under the radar? Do you just ask them, or are you like, hey, you should do this? Those are your 3 options.
I'm gonna like casually in conversations just start mentioning like how much I enjoy being there.
Okay.
How good I feel while I'm there. And
Is that the truth or no?
Well, I mean, I guess I could roll for how I feel when I'm there.
Well, technically, it's better than your old house. You kind of avoid the preachers because they seem pretty boring compared to your like life as a freaking merchant with all the people. But your mom seems to be doing really well there, so you don't dislike them at all.
Riley, your audio just got really muffled.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's clear now.
Okay, it should be fine now. Okay.
It could have just been a Discord thing or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I just wanted to warn you.
Yeah, okay.
It was like that on the recording as well.
It looks fine on the recording. So.
Okay, cool. So yeah, casually in conversation, I'm just gonna mention like how much I enjoy it there, how much better my family's doing since we've been there. And then eventually, after a few days of doing this, I'll start being like, "Hey, you should join me sometime and come to the Egg Chapel. I think you'd really like it too."
Okay.
So kind of like persuading them of how good a place it is beforehand, and then going into the direct.
All right. So I'm gonna have you roll a persuasion check for that.
Go persuasion. Ooh, 19 minus 1. So wait, no, charisma is a 12 now. That's a 20 total.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Go.
The kids respect you quite well, especially since you don't really have a preference whether you hang out with the older, younger kids. So the younger kids kind of look up to you in a way, and they agree to you. They say, as long as you're there, I think we should come too. And you do bring a sizable portion with you, just like a group of friends. And they eventually start going to the chapel quite regularly, and the preachers teach them like all the ways of like how. Lyra is the goddess of this area, and she protects us, and she gives us bountiful harvests every year. And as long as we enjoy her presence and enjoy the... You want to ask them that?
I'm just trying to recall in my mind.
You remember your mom telling you about some sort of small famine, yes?
Okay, well, carry on.
So they also say of how as long as everyone in the town goes on with free will and no like strict rules, then we all live in prosperity. And they say the only thing that we strictly like say that you have to do is make sure you worship her and no other god. So those are the things that you learn in chapel with all of your friends, and you learn the ability to worship Lyra and her ways.
Sweet. What does that mean?
You just know that what I just told you, and you have the ability to worship Lyra regularly, or not at all, or whatever.
Well, right now she seems to be the only option as far as worship and learning in school about health and everything. I would know that spiritual health is important, so I guess at least...
Actually, you were taught the exact opposite.
Wait, really?
Yes, you were told that spirituality takes...
I said don't talk about her, but I wasn't sure if that was like a...
Over the years, he has slipped a couple things into your mind of how spirituality takes away from what's like at hand.
Interesting. And he would be a very influential figure, especially even before I met the priests. He was influencing me, so that would probably really impact my view on it. So I'm not gonna like not worship her at all, but I'm also kind of like, I'm gonna do it when I feel like I have extra time, but like I'm not gonna try to separate time.
So you do it kind of passively?
Yeah.
All right. So you do that, and you feel some kind of fulfillment through it, but you don't really hear anything back. It's more like a one-way talking sort of thing. You don't really hear anything back from Lyra, if she even exists. So you do hear stories of how priests sometimes hear her speak or whatever. You just haven't experienced it. I'm going to have you roll a charisma saving throw. And this is going to determine on how much you believe in your religion.
We've got a 13.
Actually, no, this would be wisdom. Sorry.
Never mind. Do you want me to use the same roll, just different modifiers?
Yeah, just use the same roll. It's fine.
Okay, then we're going to have an 11.
11. You seem to be kind of in the middle of it. You're not really sure either way. Although you do admire some of the priests, but on the other hand, you have another man in your life who says religion is a waste of time and should be not done. So you're really stuck.
I'm going to basically try to like keep an open mind about both, and whichever one I feel like has the most logical argument,
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of gonna try to tend to sway that way.
Well, you practice each pretty much on a daily basis, although the religion is more passively. And the only things that you really see results out of is the scientific method.
I mean, that's facts.
So, continue on. Eventually, you see your mom actually doing a little less work every day and doing more work on visiting your teacher. Eventually, she starts bringing back supplies. Seems to be brushes and pens, and also some what seem to be pretty expensive coloring tools. Since you've studied art quite extensively, you know that these oils are not found in this local area and must have been imported. Would you like to do anything?
Let's see. Based on that, I'd kind of be wondering how my mom got them. Would I expect her to be paid well enough to just afford these things?
She doesn't really talk to you about money. You know you're fed well, but that's about it. She also doesn't take any of your money.
Right. Oh, and I've aged another year, haven't I?
At this point, you would be 15, so however that would be.
Yeah, so I think... Have I been working this whole year?
Yeah, you've been working, like, every day, basically. If you'd like to continue, I can just continue.
I'm just writing my yearly paycheck in.
Okay.
Sweet. Almost... Well, we're almost halfway to a brewer's kit.
All right.
I guess I'm gonna just, keep applying myself to school for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Focusing more on the subjects I'm good at, like art and science.
All right.
As far as church goes, I'll keep bringing my friends and everything around because I want to stay good side with the priests. But again, it's still just going to be kind of like passive. Like when I have time, I'll do it. But
Yeah.
If I don't have time, I'm not going to like worry.
Uh-huh. So do you keep any of your studies secret, by the way?
I wouldn't talk about my religious activities at school, and I probably would also avoid talking about my school activities at the chapel.
Got it. Other than that, you're pretty free?
Yeah.
Okay. So eventually, it seems like... Sorry, what's the name of your merchant friend again?
Merchant friend, like my boss?
Yeah, your boss.
Admon.
Admond. He eventually takes interest in your studies, asking more and more about it, and telling you how he never really got a proper study when he was a child. He was always raised on working, and basically what you're doing, except you have more free time because he doesn't work you as hard. And he says, now, if you ever come by, I know you've been working on that brewery, right?
Well, I'm saving up the money to afford the tools to do so, but yes, that my goal is to eventually own my own brewery.
Well,
all across the world.
if you ever need anyone to export it, I'd be willing to do that.
Really, you deal with shipping?
Well, everyone needs a face to their operation, and I could be that for you. Maybe one day I could work for you.
Yeah, that would be a dream. Well, I'll continue to inform you on how my studies are going with that, and hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to afford these tools, and we can do business together more.
All right. So, the next couple of years go by, and the notable things that happen is you get a little bit more integrated with the community since you're working with everyone, and you hear passive talk every once in a while. You also know that at this point, you know the city quite well, and at this point, I'm going to give you the map.
Yes, map of the city.
So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this because I'm going to switch views here. If you look at the stream, the map should be coming up.
It's blank right now, but hey,
Can you see it?
yeah, I can.
Yeah, that is Nabia.
Nice.
You live in Egg Chapel, down south.
Sweet, sweet.
And the big the square area right there is when you were a child and you were kind of in the square, and you work at Oak Org hard. Sorry, it's a little hard to read. Orchard. Sorry, it's hard to read because it's so small on my screen.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So let me know when you have everything down that you need to. Also, anytime you want to look at the map, I can bring it up for you. Actually, what I can do is I'm gonna go on Discord and send you that map.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna give it to you.
Sweet, I got it.
All right.
In my free time,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna use my art study and art skills to make a physical copy of the map and keep it with me all the time.
Okay, so that's basically what it would look like, since you're pretty good at art at this point.
Yeah. I just want to have a physical copy with me in case I need to ever reference it.
Yeah, got it. And the only reason why I'm showing you this map is because of how long you've lived here. So.
Right.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to our other page here. Going back to the live stream. So, it's been great so far. Do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, we will continue back in 1 moment. So I will be right back. All right. We should be back.
We are.
All right. As the next couple years pass, another couple notable things that happen is one day a pretty drunk person comes up to you at night and he asks you if you are going to be present during the party.
You said he's really drunk?
Yeah, he seems to be pretty drunk.
I guess I'm gonna say... well, I'd love to, but first you'll have to tell me where the party is.
He asks, you really don't know where the party is?
Do I?
You don't.
I say, no, you see, it's my first time, and I'm pretty bad with directions.
Oh, I see. Well, the party's gonna be happening in the castle.
Are you headed there now?
Oh, no, it's tomorrow night.
Well.
At least it starts tomorrow night. Who knows what's gonna end?
Of course. I know how parties can be. Well, I should hope to see you there.
All right. He stumbles off in the direction of the southern area. So do you, as you go back home, do you wish to speak of this to anyone? The next days?
I'm gonna talk to my mom.
Okay. What do you tell her?
I'm gonna say, in our studies at school, we have learned about the existence of some sort of castle where there are parties or something held. Would you know anything about where this would be?
She shakes her head and kind of sighs for a moment, and she tells you, the castle is the fortress. That's where the president is. And you know the president to be the ruler of the place. You live in a democracy where people vote to elect people, but you've never been a part of it because you're not old enough. It's a little like our presidency, except they vote for someone every year.
Interesting. Cool.
She says, well, to choose one of the candidates for who's going to be the next president and the ruler of this place, they throw a party. It's the biggest one that you've ever seen. I know you've been to a couple here and there with your friends, but this is something much different. Everyone here is invited, and whoever throws the best area at the party gets to be president and is voted in.
Really? That's how it is?
Well, it's been that way for a long time. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about this earlier. It's just...
No, that's okay.
I'm
just now old enough to become interested in such things, Mother.
Well, I wouldn't be too interested. You have a lot of studies to do, and I don't think this is the right time.
I see. Well, perhaps when the time is right, we can talk about this further. Until then, I shall put the matter to bed.
Are you being truthful or no?
I am not being truthful.
All right, make a deception check.
Let's go. That's gonna be a 15.
All right, I'm gonna roll. She looks at you with kind of piercing gaze and asks, what are you doing tomorrow? Maybe you could help me here with some people. I know some people are going to be coming in today.
Ooh, she did not. Wow. I hate that. That's going to be awkward. Well, actually, Mother, I was hoping tomorrow night me and my friends could go and do some extra studying.
All right, make a deception check, if that is deception.
That is definitely deception. Come on. Okay, that's 17. 17?
She looks at you with a very sharp gaze, and a frown kind of goes over her face, and eventually she looks back down, and it seems to have faded, and she looks at you and says, "Well, don't be too late, okay?"
Of course not, mother.
And she stands up and kisses you on the forehead and says, "Good night, my love. Please have fun."
Oh, God.
And she leaves. What do you choose to do the next day? Do you choose to go to the party or no?
Yeah, I'm going.
All right. As you approach the fortress / castle, you see the gates are wide open, and this is at night, so it's basically sunset at this point, and you see two guards standing at the front, kind of casually talking to each other.
Cool. I'm gonna try to approach.
All right, you approach, and there seems to be music blaring from the inside.
All right, I want to try to go in if they'll let me.
All right, as you walk in, the two guards kind of stop for a moment and ask you, excuse me, how old are you?
Why, yes, I am 18 years of age and just now becoming interested in the political spectrum. I was coming to the party to see some potential presidential candidates.
So they look over at you, make a deception check.
Oh, so close. It was a 19, but this one's a 20 total.
All right. They look over at you and kind of smile and say, "Go have fun."
Thank you, good sir. And I walk in.
All right. As you walk in,
Definitely trying to appear more important than I am.
okay. So as you walk in, there seems to be many people gathered around a podium, and drinks being served on each end. It seems to be almost exclusively ale and wine. You see people gathered in lines and kind of casually talking to each other. And you hear lutes being played, horns being bellowed, and you see up on the stage multiple bards, it seems.
Interesting. So, as far as my education in art, was that like all forms of art, like music as well, or was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna choose to sit, grab a drink that I would assume, and using my proficiency in brewer's tools, I'm gonna try to like see what the different kinds of drinks are and find one that's very like the least amount of alcohol in a drink that exists.
All right. I believe that's a DC 15, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What is the check?
It would be in brewery. So.
Okay, so just roll them +2.
Is that how you do tools?
I don't know.
Do you have this website up of Brewer's Tools?
Actually, yes, I do.
Check real quick. Because you might just be able to add your proficiency. Other than that, I'm thinking maybe investigation, but I don't know.
I don't see where it shows like the DCs or anything like that.
Oh, you don't?
I do not.
One second. You're on 5e Tools, right?
No.
That's the one that you should be using.
Okay.
It's 5e Tools. It's identify alcohols, DC 15. I think you just add your proficiency.
Cool. Sorry, I'm opening 5e Tools now, so I'm gonna try to...
Actually, I'm gonna make you do an insight for that, plus your proficiency.
Insight plus proficiency, cool.
Actually, no, that wouldn't make any sense because proficiency in tools wouldn't make any sense if you're proficient in the check. So just do your proficiency in the tools. Sorry.
Okay, so just a normal roll plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 16.
16, so you barely succeed. You find a couple, they all seem to be very strong. You've never drank before, so what you know about ale is it's not very strong usually, but these wines seem to be pretty strong. The only one you can find is kind of a medium.
Gotcha. I guess I'm gonna grab the one that's the least alcoholic and say thank you, good sir. And I'm going to try to find a seat and just enjoy the music and just sip on the drink a little bit.
All right.
Enough to get drunk, though.
Okay, so you just passively drink it?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you walk around, do you just want to introduce yourself to people?
Yeah, just kind of make connections. Try to find out who's running for president
Uh-huh.
this year. And see what people's opinions are. See who the most popular one is.
All right. As you walk around, make a persuasion check.
All right. Not the best. We got an 11.
All right. So as you walk around, you realize not a lot of people are here that are especially like cognitive. They are very drunk. There are a couple people that you realize are more on the tipsy side rather than completely drunk. But you don't get much out of them. Although you do meet one man who seems to be the basically in this world or this city, instead of a vice president, they have an advisor, and you meet one of them for one of the upcoming presidents. And he eventually explains to you that this year is a very special year because the way that they are going to compete with each other, rather than seeing who can make the best drinks or who can have the best story, is they're having to they're seeing who can find the best bards in the land.
Wow, this is truly an interesting idea.
He says, if you wait tight for just a moment, they should be up soon.
I shall anxiously await to hear them.
All right. So eventually you wait, and the lights get dimmed, the torches get blown out, and eventually someone steps up and says, "Thank you all for coming." And without further ado, the first candidate. And you see a kind of a band of string players, mainly violas and violins, and even a couple of cellos here and there, go up and play an orchestral piece. It seems to be very classical in its nature, and it seems to be that of a slow pace, but very hearty spirit. Is there anything you wish to do during this time, or do you want me to go to the next one?
I'm just gonna, as I listen to them, try to keep track in my head of which one, in my opinion, is the best.
Okay. Also, by the way, at this point, your drink is empty.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Let's go. Ah, no, dice fell on the floor. No. Okay. You said Constitution?
Yeah.
Alright, that's a 15 then.
15. Got it. You don't seem to really feel the side effects. Feel a little buzzed here and there, but not very much.
This is the ideal. Alright. Knowing that, I'm just gonna kind of keep listening to the music, enjoying myself.
All right.
If I see any more people, I think that would be kind of like on the important side. I try to make connections with them, but if I don't, I'm fine. I'm just gonna listen to the music.
All right. So as you continue listening, the second band comes up, and they are introduced as the second candidate. And as they step up, you realize this is a very different band. It seems to be mainly lutes and horns. And as they start playing, it seems to be a ballad of some sort. And there's a main singer that sings of a tale. Give me a second. I'm going to pull something up. All right. Seems to be a tale of the elves. That sings of it's kind of a shanty almost, very lighthearted spirit and very catchy lyrics. And the people sing of how the elves all learned to be sailors, and they all turned into pirates who plundered the seas, and all about how the main captain of the elves became so good at pirating that they took those lost in the ocean captive, and would take their sailors and cast a magical curse on them to turn into elves, forever cursed, and be a part of their crews sailing the high seas. So, is there anything you'd like to do during the song, or do you want me to continue?
I'm kind of gonna try to get a sense for the general mood of the people while the song is playing, what they think about it.
All right, so make a insight check.
Okay, alright, we're getting somewhere. With a 18.
All right, you seem like the audience enjoys this quite a bit more, especially since everyone's a little tipsy. They enjoy the lighthearted spirit of it all.
Okay, so this wasn't like oh, everybody's gonna be a prisoner, we're all just gonna sail. Okay.
No, this is like a sea shanty that's like
Gotcha.
just like a tale of like lost sailors and all that.
Everybody's chill.
Yeah, everyone's pretty chill.
I'm gonna choose to enjoy it as well.
All right, so you eventually get to the third candidate, and they say this is the last one that is for tonight, and they eventually send up a single bard. He seems to be holding no instruments, and seems to have a scar across his face. And he seems very serious as he steps up. The torches dim, and everyone gets a little bit more quiet as he looks out into the audience and sings his song. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright. Come on, wisdom, don't let me down now. We've got 14.
14. You notice that he does something with his hand as he sings. Seems to be making a loop with his two fingers, kind of out of the audience's gaze as he brings his other hand up to try to distract them. So as he sings his song, you realize it's a lot louder than any of the other songs. Even though that this is just one man, his voice seems to be booming and engulfs the audience as everyone gets very silent. And he sings of... He sings of a ballad of something to do with a bridge, a holy bridge, almost like a connection between the mortal plane and the gods, and how the bravest soldiers and the hardiest adventurers could not cross its path until one day the angels fell down from heaven and graced us with their presence. He sings about a tale of how he was in the mountains trying to scale the bridge, and he met an angel who saved his life from a gang of beasts. He says the angel nursed him back to health, and how they bonded over time, and the angel brought him back to civilization and never to be seen again. He theorizes to this day that the angel went back to heaven that day, doing his good deed for his life. And as he finishes, you notice the room gets a little bit more talkative, kind of people whispering to each other. And someone comes up and says, thank you all for coming. This has been the first night of election. Make sure you talk to others about what you think, and please come back next time. So everyone, Yeah, everyone, instead of heading out, they go back to the drinking lines.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna just try to like socialize with people, even if they're kind of drunk. Just kind of see what they thought of everything. Kind of get a general sense for the feel of the crowd after this.
All right. So as you try to socialize with people, you realize it's very easy to talk to them since they're all very drunk at this point, and they all seem to take a liking to you, even though you're one of the only tieflings there. They eventually, a lady walks up to you, seems to be another tiefling, and about your age. She whispers to you in kind of a hushed voice, but also kind of loud, like she's not really knowing she's talking that loud. She says, "You're not really 18, are you?"
What makes you think that?
And she gives you a nudge and says, "I can tell by the way you're acting so much older than you actually are."
Well, I make it a point to be professional, if that's what you need.
Make a persuasion check. Or deception check.
I'm gonna get a 9 with this one.
She says, "The real reason I know is because I'm not 18 either." And you can see the drink is in her hand. She has another one in her hand as well and says, "Here, take it. Take another." Do you take the drink from her hand?
I do, but I say, I've had plenty for the night. And I look around for anybody who is in a drinking line, and I try to offer it to them.
All right, make a charisma saving throw.
Alright, 12.
All right. You look at this girl, and she seems to be about your age. And as her words go over your ears, her presence is very soothing, and you are kind of crushing on her.
No. Not have such weakness.
Eventually, she looks at you and says, "Oh, don't be so uptight. Will I see you tomorrow?"
If I should have the privilege.
All right. Make a persuasion check.
14.
Okay. She looks over at you and says, "My name's Larissa." And that's spelled Lerissa.
Lerissa.
You've never met her before, even though she looks about your age. But it is a big city, so you don't know a lot of kids. So at this point, she heads out, and it seems to be very dark out.
Oh, if it's dark, I choose to like walk back up to her and say, "It's dark. Would you like me to escort you home?"
She turns towards you and says, "Oh, don't worry about that. I would find someone else." And she looks over to her side and sees a pair of guys walking back, kind of stumbling home, and she runs up to them, and they start talking and walking.
I should head home. And I head home.
All right. As you head home, you enter through the door and try to go to your room. And when you enter, you see your mother waiting.
Hello, Mother.
She looks up like she's been a little tired, and she says, "Oh, hello. Did you enjoy your time with your friends?"
Yes, it was quite enjoyable.
I see. You wouldn't mind if I asked you what you studied tonight, would you?
Not at all.
Well, she asks.
Say, we studied politics and the upcoming election.
All right. She turns towards you and says, "Well, you wouldn't happen to know who's running, would you?"
Not. Do I? Did I do that?
You know their names. You know the three that were there last night. or this night.
I would say I would intentionally like mess up like a syllable or two of their name. Be like, one of them was called such and such. One of them was, and the other was this.
All right, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Hey, let's go advantage. All right, that's 18.
All right, she looks over at you and says, well, I'm glad you had a good night. I'm going to go to bed. It's been a long day for me.
Of course, you need your rest. Have a good night.
All right, and she goes to bed. And I think that's where we should leave it off for tonight.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good spot.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who's been watching. This has been Chapter 1 of... What are you calling it again?
The Chronicles of Lilro.
Yes. Stay tuned for Chapter 2 and also the other adventures that will be held in this D&D campaign. So thank you all for watching, and good night.